Israel. They're rock'em sock'em robots, and who's going to win? Both sides are getting some pretty good blows in. It's Iron Dome is not is we should call that the Swiss cheese dome, right? So those domes are not going to be effective in the future, guys. So I know President Trump he's a big talker, but that's not a good idea, right? So I don't know I don't know if that's just some kind of America's great type thing. We can do whatever we want, and we're going to be great at it. But that dome, if it were to be built, would be not the billions of dollars that he has said, but trillions upon trillions upon trillions of dollars, and it would never be effective in the long run. Just like we're seeing with Israel, and as we've seen with Ukraine, and as we've seen with Russia. So drone technology basically makes dome technology obsolete, right? So you can overwhelm a system, and then your high-speed missiles can come in while everything's being overwhelmed. Wave after wave after wave of drone, and then you get stupid missiles that don't have really high tech. They come in and they pull a lot of because everything's looking for that one thing, the big missiles. So you get the stupid low gen missiles that come in, and then the technology locks on it and blasts the hell out of it, and just right behind it, because everything's overwhelmed now. You have the super high speed missiles that come in. They have the low detection capabilities and so forth, and they come in and they're hammering Israel. All right, they're hammering Israel, just like Israel is hammering Iran. So back and forth, rock'em sock'em robots. Now, ultimately, what we're going to see, like I believe, is a regime change. There will absolutely be a regime change in Iran. How that is manufactured remains to be seen. How easy will that, become remains to be seen. Who is the replacement? I believe it will be probably the old monarchy, but there could be a monarchy and the election process where they have a democratic process. I think between the two of them, the Persian people would be ideally suited. So we'll see that, because the old monarchy that replaced the democracy was not good, and we're going to talk in depth about that. All right. So DJT Moab, so the mother of all bombs. So the Russians have the father of all bombs, and it's much bigger than the mother of all bombs. So I don't know. We'll see. Those bombs can be gigantic beyond belief, and you're going to see. Like I said I saw like a atomic attack, a nuke attack on Israel. That's something that we don't have to manifest. We can decide, because we have been because give you an example. They came out and everybody was talking about how it was going to be horrific during the and we had to be aware of it, of course, during the No Kings rallies, and they turned out to be mostly peaceful, because we come out and we talk about this stuff, and we get everybody's attention, and we are manifesting on these timelines now because of our consciousness level. We are manifesting a better reality, but we have to be aware of some of the timelines that are out there. So one of those timelines has a nuke being dropped on Israel, then Israel responding. Israel has the Samson agenda or option. Samson option basically is where if they feel that they're threatened, they will drop nukes. They will do nuke attacks. And Israel's getting pretty hammered right now. So I don't know. I don't think they're getting hammered to the point where they're going to drop nukes independently of, everybody. But I think that, that is obviously something that's a possibility. Now, I'm going to tell you, and I think I can do this and get away with it. is back in the day we used to chat. When I was in the CIA, we and the case officers that were out there crunching information, and then you had that information would go into traffic and would go back to Langley, and those guys would have their experts and an analyst go through it. But in the field, we were getting a lot of information that there were nukes out there. Right, there were nukes. Of course, we were always, whether I was in the SEAL teams or whether I was in the CIA, we're always looking for weapons of mass destruction. That was always a high priority, right? So if someone under questioning from case officers brought forth information about weapons of mass destruction, of course, atomic weapons would be a weapon of mass destruction, not just biologicals, but anything, suitcase nukes. Mike Force, he knows what I'm talking about. Mike Force, you win. Mike Force is basically nailing it because we knew that there were some suitcase nukes that were out there. It was said that they had been bought from Russia when Russia was basically collapsing. Soviet Union was collapsing. There were rogue generals that had been paid a long time and needed a little money. So they had been selling some of that material, those materials, kind of like what happened in Afghanistan, right? But there were no nukes, but there's some high tech weaponry that was basically left behind. Some of that, I think, on purpose, and some people got a little cut of that pie, and then some of that stuff went around the world, right? So you can use it in your own imagination where some of that stuff went. So anyway, we were talking about how there were nukes out there, that the Iranians had nukes, and those were you ever on an Iranian oil platform while in the teams? I think that was back in '87. No, I didn't do it. That I wasn't there during that time frame, but that was one of the missions that we had at SEAL Team 6. But I think the regular teams went to the oral platforms. So I was a regular team guy too, back on either side of SEAL Team 6. But there definitely were some SEALs out there. So I don't know if you were involved in some of those operations or not, but I was not on that particular one. So there was there had been talk about this for many decades, really, of backpack nukes that were out there, and we got that they were there. They were out there. Iran had some of them, and they could divvy them out to Hezbollah or Hamas or some of their other proxies. They have proxies in Iran and all kind of places, or Iraq and all kind of places, but they weren't. They were basically pretty strict about that. They said if they actually use those, and Taliban and some other groups had options of using nukes, but the Iranians were like, no, we don't want to rile everybody up, because that will turn everybody against some of their proxies. Proxies being terrorist groups that are out there. Yemenis, of course, are proxy for Iran. You look at now in Syria, basically the new ISIS proxies are Iranian. You look at Hezbollah and Lebanon, proxies of Iran. Hamas, proxies of Iran. See how bad Iran is? I have seen it. Now, I hear a lot of people talking peace and America shouldn't get involved with Iran. I will tell you that Iran, the administration, if you will, of Iran, must be replaced. It must be replaced by something more peaceful. And I believe very strongly, as a remote viewer and someone that looks into the future, that is going to take place. Now, how we get there remains to be seen. Dirty bombs, yes, dirty meaning they spread a lot. They don't cause a lot of destruction, but they spread a lot of nuke material, and so they're dirty bombs. So there were some of those, I guess, out there as well. Now, I can't confirm or deny that I know this is true. I just hearsay was, a lot of us out there on the ground, the knuckle draggers, the people that actually get shit done. We would talk. We would talk. We would communicate. And we're like, oh, that shit's out there. It's out there. Are we ever going to get some of that? Are we ever going to apprehend some of that? That was always something we're trying to do. That was always something we were trying to do. Get some of that stuff because we knew there were groups that had that stuff. But I think it's pretty contained and controlled by Iran. Now that we're seeing the Iranian mullahs or radical Islamists that run Iran, are we going to see them do something crazy now because they know that the gig is up? Now we've heard President Trump say, no, don't get out of line. All right, listen up. We could eliminate all of you, but we're not. So do the right thing. You're not going to do nukes. I'll put it that way. He says you're not going to get nukes. We know they have nukes. They already have nukes, right? And of course America has nukes. Israel has nukes. North Korea has nukes. South Korea has nukes. China has nukes. Russia has nukes. Everybody's got nukes, right? But are some of the people that have those nukes, responsible? Are you a responsible nuke holder? Not so much with Iran, guys. Not so much, right? So they have to go bye-bye. They have to go bye-bye. So I know a lot of people are going to jump up and down and scream because they don't like to see war and they don't want America to be involved in war. So the man himself, Mike, you sound like a Zionist. Your CIA planted and Islamic leadership change again, and self-defense is now aggression. We should replace Israel first with a peaceful country. All right. So you're not. So let me show stupid. All right, before I take him away. All right, so you're probably going to see, a lot of this knuckleheadedness right here, right? So that is not. It's not gonna last. Stupid people like that can't go forward. And as I ban that user forever, so you can't have peace, guys, when you have people that have nukes and they're irresponsible with them, right? And that's what President Trump is, through his proxy, Israel, is trying to take care of. Now, if it gets to a point where Israel is, like they are, getting super hammered, we may see America jump in, right? And is America going to jump in by allowing Israel to drop the bunker buster bombs, right? The 30,000-pound bombs, right? From B-2s, which I think they're going to be dropped from. I don't know. 8 mods, no trolls. All right. Yes, 8 mods, but not kicking ass. All right. So we're going to see something happen, guys. We're going to see something, right? And all of you little trolleys out there that want to come in and make your stupid comments, that's fine. We're just going to kick you out. Or you could, just observe, right? But you can't do that because you are compromised. You say that we're compromised. Look, I have been downrange my whole life, risking my life for most of my life for 35 plus years. And I'm telling you, Iran regimes gotta go. All right. I'm not a warmonger. I'm like the dude of love. All right. I send the love out and the love does its thing. Right. I've taken a lot of people out, not through physical means, but through love. I've taken them out. Right. So love is very powerful. and so is stupid, right? Stupid infects like a cancer. So we don't like stupid. Don't come in here and do stupid. All right. So otherwise you go bye-bye. And, mods, see stupid, just get rid of it. All right. And get rid of the people that do it. All right. So we're gonna see a lot of people go stupid, like Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson went stupid. And is that by design? Is he going stupid so all the other stupid people can see what stupid's like? I think so. I think so. And we saw Elon go stupid. It was that part of a planned event. Maybe his company was getting so ravaged by the leftist that he had to go stupid just to like take the heat off. And Trump's like, yeah, you should do that, and we'll make up, right? Go ahead and get the heat off your company, and because the leftists have gone stupid on your ass, and so I think that's what happened, and so they're all buds again, right? So it looked like some kind of like tear in the fabric of time. A lot of people are like, oh my God, MAGA is destroyed. So now we have another MAGA incident. MAGA, make America great again, right? We're America's great. It's never not gonna be. Trump hit back at Tucker Carlson after the former Fox News host stated that America's involvement in Israel's war on Iran will result in the end of American empire. So is Tucker Carlson stirring the pot so that the idiots can come in and make their claims like we just saw and like I showed you guys? Probably. Do you see me getting all upset? No, I don't care. They're stupid, guys. They're stupid, and now stupid goes bye-bye. All right. So, and that's as easy as that, right? So don't get wrapped up in stupid. Otherwise, you are going to create stupid in our world, and we don't like stupid, do we? No. But sometimes, so you guys that say peace, like Tucker Carlson, let's say some crazed man came into Tucker Carlson's house and decided to rape his children and his wife, and Tucker Carlson too. But Tucker Carlson had a gun and did bang bang. Oh, Tucker Carlson's not peaceful, right? So sometimes you gotta go violence, guys. Hello, hell, the FO. So come on. I've done violence, and I've done peace, and I've done the love, and yes, all three have their place, but sometimes you just got to slap a knot on somebody's head, right? Or make them go bye-bye. Right? So that's what's happening with Iran. Not all of Iran, of course, but with the leadership. The leadership will go bye-bye. So Tucker goes on, I am saying this because I'm really afraid. What is afraid? All right. It's not love, is it? Afraid actually is below fear in consciousness. All right. So you guys that say, I fear God. Wrong consciousness level. All right. And then people make excuse because you're taught to say, I fear God, I fear God, I fear God. It's wrong. All right. Words have power. Words have power. Afraid. He's afraid. All right. So he's in low consciousness. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, Tucker. All right. Don't be afraid. There's no reason to be afraid. We're going to win. We always win. We have always won. America always wins. Did we not just defeat the most heinous threat to our country? What was that? That was Joe Biden's regime. Right? That was the most heinous attack on America ever. Made the British Empire look like children compared to what we just went through. I am saying this because I'm really afraid that my country's gonna be weakened by this. I think we're all right, Tucker. I'm a man. I'm a badass man, and you don't need to be afraid. Relax. We got this. All right. All right. So obviously, nations would like to see that, and this is the perfect way to scuttle the USS America on the shores of Iran. Ain't gonna happen, Tucker. All right. Uh, Iran is a child compared to uh, a very advanced adult, which is America. All right, we're the only adult in the house right now, right? But we're trying to get, our proxy Israel, because a lot of people are like, Israel controls America. No, not right now. Not right now. Maybe it has at some points in time. Sure, we could see that, but not right now. Not right now. All right. The second you get enmeshed in a real war, yeah, real war. Where have you been in a real war, Tucker? No, you haven't. And of course, there have been a lot of us that have been in wars. I've been in a lot of wars all over the world. All right. They're not pretty. And the brutality and the evil that's there is not very good. And if you don't stay, if you're not in that love vibration, you're gone. You're gone. And those of us that have been in war and know how to keep our consciousness, we don't allow people with fear to come among us, Tucker. So don't be afraid, because you're bringing us down. You're bringing us down, right? You wouldn't be allowed in our group. You wouldn't be allowed in our group of high achievers. And Trump snapped back. Trump snapped back. All right. So somebody please explain to Kooky Tucker Carlson that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, Trump posted on Truth Social. In direct response to Carlson's take, America first means many great things, including the fact that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Cannot have it, right? Cannot use it. Cannot use a nuclear weapon. So posted just minutes later, Make America Great Again. All right, MAGA. All right. Carlson isn't the only MAGA-leaning voice speaking out against Trump's service to Israel. Trump attacking Tucker Carlson for not supporting a new world war. We're not going to war. It's not a new world war. It will be crushed so fast if the U.S. gets involved. Game over, because there's a lot of different moving parts in this. There's a lot of different moving parts in this. All right. There's a lot of things lined up, guys. You think that President Trump, when he went to the Middle East, he wasn't talking amongst them about this coming? Huh? Right? So he didn't need to go to Israel because they already had the game plan. Right? He was just going to the Middle East, all those other countries, and let them know that this is what's coming. Do you want to have, Iran with nuclear weapons? We know how bad they are. Everybody knows how bad Iran is. Everybody in the Middle East. Everybody. Can I get a amen? Everybody knows that Iran is bad in the Middle East. Hello. A lot of you guys don't know this because you don't follow what goes on in the Middle East. I have lived it. I have lived it all over the Middle East. I know that Iran is a bad player. Bad. All right. So don't be afraid, Tucker. I am proud that Tucker Carlson is standing his ground against the psychotic, warmongering neocons that have brought the world to the verge of thermonuclear Armageddon, said the influential right-wing conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. All right, so even Alex is on the bad side of this. All right. So has Alex been in combat? No. Has Alex been in the military? No. So who do you want to listen to? All right. So if you want to go into fear, guys, that's absolutely, you have that option. There's no reason to fear. All right. So let's go down the rabbit hole. But first we have to look at things that are falling apart around us, because just because we're in this little back and forth, this rock'em sock'em robot thing going on, doesn't mean that other things aren't falling apart for the baddies, right? Like CNN eyes massive staff cuts as parent company prepares for breakup. So the CIA controlled CNN. We used to call it the CIA network, right? It still is pretty much. But there are a lot of people that don't understand that. You have Anderson Cooper. Anderson Cooper. You know, Anderson Cooper makes more than one of the other. Let's see, what is this? Why, for instance, would Gunner, I guess that's who owns CNN, whatever, pay Anderson Cooper $18 million a year when Caitlin Collins draws the same ratings at roughly a fifth of the salary? Why? Because Anderson Cooper is CIA. Right? He was bred for that job, right? He admitted CIA. All right. Almost everyone at CNN is CIA. Maybe not so much anymore, but probably. I don't. Maybe they fixed it. I doubt it. If they're breaking up, it sounds like to me, they haven't fixed it. All right. So and another reason why he gets so much money is because his mommy was Gloria Vanderbilt. All right. So Vanderbilts, remember, very, very rich, one of the richest families in America. Vanderbilt Railroad. You guys ever been to Vanderbilt Castle in North Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina? Have you never seen that thing? Oh my God! Right. Boy, they got a lot. They had a lot of money. That library is like, I wish I had a library like that. Jeez. And it looks like maybe that's a holdover from a forgotten age. Yeah, it looks like it. I think they took a lot of that stuff that was, from a forgotten age and basically repurposed it. Right. Janine calls him Carl Tuckerson. Carl Tuckerson. And Vanderbilt's own New York Central Railroad. Yeah. With the big swimming pool. Yes. Now I remember going. This was when my awakening process was going on, as far as like my intuition stuff. I remember going through that pool, and it was like, something's wrong there. Something's wrong. Something's wrong about that pool. And then the last time I went to the Vanderbilt estate, they had opened a new room, and it was a room where they had Halloween, like they all would dress up, and the walls were still painted with Halloween. It was dark and spooky stuff all over, and I was like, children. I see children that are horrified here, and it's not from being spooky. So they did bad things there. Right? Pedophiles. So it's Asheville. Yeah, it's got flooded. It's got destroyed. So the Biltmore House has lots of dark energy around it. Yeah, Gay Roy, you know what I'm talking about. You've probably been there too. So some of us know. Some of us know. Some of us got the feeling. I got a feeling. So hit that like button. That's right. Hit the like button. Let's increase the algorithms. Let's get thousands of people watching this show, because we need to know the truth, and we need to work together to stop the evil. And if we don't like a timeline, like Iran dropping nukes or using nukes, then we stop it. We stop it. At least we try, right? And so look. So Kathy Griffin, I knew Gloria Vanderbilt better than my old buddy Anderson Cooper. My old buddy. Those two twins. Some people said they're twins. They do have a resemblance. You got to admit, and they do look like, both of them look like mommy, Gloria. And is Kathy an actual twin son? So, see, recent post. Let's see, Kathy Griffin. She's not looking so good these days, as if she has not gotten, yes, as if maybe she's not been getting her adrenochrome. All right, so, Kathy, what happened? Not getting your adrenochrome. So let's see. There was another one where she was like really looking bad. Remember, she had the severed head of Trump. Yeah, she's a baddie. She's a baddie. And I'm not showing a recent. There was a recent one where she looked, ooh, wow, she's like a dude. Do look like a lady. Uh. So, you know, those Vanderbilts are so many secrets, so many secrets. And so CNN dissolving. Somebody threw water on them like the Asheville, and they're all like, I'm melting. All the witches in Asheville. Oh, they didn't like all that water. All right. So if you guys are going to use a lot of water, we're going to put some over in your area. How about that? Trump calls for Iran's unconditional surrender as Israel-Iran air war rages on. So Rock'em Sock'em keeps on going. So President Donald Trump called on Tuesday for Iran's unconditional surrender. Listen to this. All right. And warned U.S. patience was wearing thin. B-2 bombers are going to start dropping big bombs. Better stop. But said there was no intention to kill Iran's leader for now. For now. As the Israel-Iran war raged for a fifth day. Now, he said for now, but we do know where he's at. So that's kind of like a warning. You can surrender or you can die. We're not going to kill you now. So there are options for you, but we know that they're radical. They're radical. They will fight to the end. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz said, meanwhile, that Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, could face the same fate as Iraqi President Saddam Hussein. He was hung. He was hung. All right. And I remember I was in a sweat lodge with the American Indian shaman. And they're like, Mike, you're leaving, because they did a sweat lodge for me because I was going to be one of Ambassador Bremer's top dudes to protect him. And so they're like, you're leaving, so let's do a sweat lodge for you. So, and they're like, let's pray. Let's pray that when you get to Iraq, they find Saddam Hussein, because they were looking for him and they couldn't find him. He escaped. Like that guy in Wisconsin that was crawling around, they couldn't find him. And then they arrested him after a couple of days. And it looked like he wasn't crawling around. And he didn't look like the guy that actually did the shooting. But, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I don't think I am. And I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to get off point, and I'm going to come over here because I talked about this last night. I couldn't find this picture. I was like, dang it. They got rid of those pictures. Make me look like a fool. Don't make me look like a fool. All right, so here we go. The Dirt and Dispatch. Look at that guy. Look at that head. Some people should not be bald. I got a good bald head, but that guy. But they said that he had a mask over his head. Mask, like Joe Biden. Right. So, no King's Terror. Fake cop assassinates Minnesota. I keep saying Wisconsin. I'm sorry, Wisconsin. Minnesota. So does that guy right there look like that guy? No. How about duh? No. All right. So, and there's Timmy Walls. What's that? He's like put the tampons in the bathrooms for boys, so we call him Tampon Tim. Tampon Tim, put him in Minnesota, high up. So, here it is. We get to see it. Close that. It's up close. We can look at maybe. It's not going to let me. All right, so there we go. All right, so here he is. Here is. He's a big boy. He's a big boy with a cowboy hat. But he doesn't like him, and he doesn't like him. He looks like a big boy, like 40 pounds overweight. And then look at this guy. Look at that guy. And look at that guy. And look at that guy. It's like, come on, CIA. It's can you not do better than this? Are you trying to like show this as like stupid? Right? I think so. I think they are. Or somebody is. I don't think CIA does stupid, but anyway. All right. State of Minnesota. Tim Walz, governor, no disappointment. All right. Good job, Tim. Now, the reason why I want to go over here and do this is because remember how all those Democrats were like, if you see them, then go and get in their face. If you see like some Republican, and you go get in their face. And they were just all saying this. They wanted to stir up violence. Nancy Pelosi, you name it. You name the people from California. All of them. They're all Californians too. And of course, we got some from others, New York and some other states too, of course. But maybe Tim Walz so too. But they're all inciting violence. And remember Joe Biden, that one dark MAGA where he had everything was like dark and red. He had those two fake Marines were in the background. They weren't Marines. Their insignia was all wrong, but they were in the background. And they're standing there at parade rest. And he's like, the MAGA right, they're a threat to our country. And so they're all like violence. MAGA, they're violent. Come on, MAGA, get violent. Come on, do it. We keep telling you guys. And then it's all Democrats that do violence. It's all Democrats that do violence. Are the people that they support, like transgenders and all that kind of stuff. It's like, you guys suck. You're like trying to invoke violence, and you invoke violence in your own community, and they come at you. Right? So it is quite a shit show in the Democrat Party. I've been saying this for years. The Democrat Party is going to go away. There's no way they can continue. I mean, keep doing the same shit. Started Civil War and all. They didn't want to give women the right to vote. They didn't want to give blacks the right to vote. They didn't want to give blacks the ability to like be an American, So and just integrate with everything else. They were the Democrat Party. You can look at their history. They were the ones that voted against it en masse, right? Just like today, if there's anything the Republicans try to get through, all the Democrats are on the other side of that and vote against it. Yet they're still there. I'm like, I don't understand. I've been saying these guys have been going away for years, but they're still there. So President Trump, back to President Trump. I warned the Iranian dictator against continuing to commit war crimes and fire missiles at Israeli citizens. Katz told top Israeli military officials. Explosions were reported in Tehran and the city of Isfahan in central Iran. In Tehran and Iran. All right, while Israel said Iran had fired more missiles towards it late on Tuesday. He hit me. I just hit him back because he hit me. Like, says, kids, stop it. Like Trump, stop it. All right, so we know exactly where the so-called supreme leader is hiding, Trump said on Truth Social. We are not going to take him out. Parentheses, kill, asterisks. At least not for now. Our patience is wearing thin. All right, so hint, hint. 3 minutes later, he posted unconditional surrender. Unconditional surrender. That means you guys are out. You're going to go out. You can surrender or you can die. Which do you want? But I don't know. Maybe they can run to Russia. I've heard that maybe Russia will put them up. That's a possibility. And I'm in North Carolina, 20 minutes from Asheville. Must go see. Spooky pool? You got a spooky pool over there? All right. Paul Little, Tartaria is Russia. Yeah. And Tartaria may have been the Vanderbilt estate castle thing. So it may have been remnants of it. Because very interesting how that very quickly was built. All right. So, and there's a lot of that stuff all over the country. There's a lot of people doing a lot of good stuff on Tartaria. So if you haven't looked at Tartaria stuff, I highly recommend it. It's like, whoa. And some of the Tartaria stuff, it's like somebody didn't like them because there was like directed energy weapon use on them where they just melted cities. Yeah. Sound familiar? All right. So we're going to see, like I said, we're going to see Iran leadership go away. It's pretty much a done deal. So they're going to go away. Who are they going to be replaced with? This is what I think.
To give you guys all the latest update, the Crown Prince of Iran in exile, Reza Pahlavi, has also just released this statement officially calling for an uprising by the Iranian people. First things first, let's talk about the Supreme Leader. And again, thank you again so much for the support. We are now at 1,014,000 subscribers. As a thank you, we're giving you guys a special discount, 50%.
All right. I sent a lot of people your way, so good job. And you made $1 million. I love it. All right. Maybe they can come back my way, help me become $1 million too. Right. So at some point. So not yet, because I just seem to reveal the information they're not real happy with, and but I am here revealing information. That's a good thing. So I saw somebody reveal to me that YouTube has made a thing where they're not going to like take videos down if the content is not more than 50% bad. Right? So I can just get to that point and stop. Right. So I won't be that bad. So, and I'll joke around. And I'll have a lot of other people on, and we'll talk about quantum healing and kumbaya, shaking hands and love, and then I'll say, yeah, Iran's going to go away. Right? The Iran leadership's going to go away, and Tucker is afraid. Stop being afraid. Right? You're a bad man for being afraid. Right? Snap out of it. Bitch slap. Right? So, secret meaning of Israel's Operation Rising Lion. Rising Lion. What is this operation? Rising Lion. Rising Lion. So this is my friend Leo Zagami. So Leo Zagami has written a nice little report. He's been on my show lots of times, and we've talked about his books. His books are exceptional, and he talked about this in which book? We're going to go through some of this. So, Confessions, Leo Lion Zagami. So, book 12, which will be the last of the series. History, Secret Societies, and the Politics of the Jesuit New World Order and their Luciferian Court. And then you have volume 11, Confession of Illuminati, the Past, Present, and Future of Mind Control from Sun Tzu to MK Ultra and beyond. And of course, the one that we're concerned with right now. This is what's going on or will go on in Iran, and is going on, and is going to continue until we have a regime change. Illuminati, Volume 10, Islamic Freemasonry and the secret societies behind the eternal conflict in the Middle East. All right, so he's got, of course, all 12 of those books. We've talked about all those books. I have all those books. I've read most of the material of those books, believe it or not. But it is voluminous. His books have a lot of information in them. So Trump demands unconditional surrender, and the Grand Lodge of Iran in exile prepares for the return of the Pahlavi dynasty. So do you think the Pahlavi dynasty is going to be better than what we have there? Of course they are. Much, much better. All right, so we are at a decisive moment in Israel's history, adding moments ago, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat. Rising Lion. So look at the symbology. It's a lion, rising sun, lion, right? So what is this? It is Operation Rising Lion. I'll hide it so you have to think, right? What is it? Rising Lion. And what is this? A rising lion. And where's this from? It is from Iran's pre-1979 monarchy under the Shah in what appears to be a calculated act of psychological warfare and ideological provocation aimed at overthrowing Iran's current regime. It's fascinating, right? It's fascinating when you get all the insights and the deep stuff, right? Don't you guys love it? Thank you, Leo. So that's what we get. You know, we have a lot of people that are very, very smart, and know a lot of things. And so we can put them all together, put the pieces together, and we're like, okay, Mike, I know what you're talking about. The Islamists are going to be replaced. Yes, they are. And there's a lot of things in the background that's going on. In the caption in Persian, we read, the rise of the lions for the victory of light over darkness. So this is a Persian thing. And Israel is saying Operation Rising Lion. So these different lodges are all working together to overthrow the baddies. Right? You got and so you're like, I don't know. I thought all the lodges were bad. I guess there's some good people in them, right? I've seen a lot of good people in a lot of these lodges, guys. I'm not part of those lodges, but I've seen a lot of good people in them. Yes, everything is compromised. Everything is compromised, right? So does that mean because, some bad people like in Iran that are running the show, the 1%ers at the top, does that mean all of Iranians are bad? Of course not. Duh. So Israel and Persia are working together. Of course, it doesn't look like that right now because you have the outer being hammered right now until it becomes taken down. So you're going to see Iran, the Islamists, taken out, guys. The rise of the lions for the victory of light over darkness. What have we been saying for years, for the last 5 years? Light over darkness. Light over darkness. The rise of the lions, the lion of God. All right, so that's a Christian thing as well. The message was shared alongside a cartoon image showing Iran's current flag being pierced by a golden lion wielding a sword. And it indicates both the Lion of Judah, a significant symbol in Jewish and Israeli culture. So Iranian, Jewish, Christian, lion, right? So we can all work together here, right? And we're going to work together here. We're going to create a better future. I promise you that you are going to see an amazing peace on the other side of this. And all the little fraidy cats out there that are spewing meanness, they're gonna whether they're doing that on purpose, it's part of the programming to awaken, or whether they're just scaredy cats and not lions. I don't know. I don't know what it's all about. I can't watch all this stuff, guys. I see a little thing here and there. I just pulled that up just before the show, and I was like, I heard about it, and I'm like, let me see if I can put it in the show, and it fits, right? It's a great little tool. So Leo talks about Confessions of Illuminati, Volume 10, Islamic Freemasonry. I explain all the twists and turns of Iran's rich, and we have talked about this, I was like, what? When he came out with his book, I was like, wow, 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 wow. So, I mean, it's so much. It's embedded throughout our whole world, and there's good stuff and there's bad stuff. Yep. So it goes a rich Masonic history, which spans over 2 centuries and a half and involves the obscure and powerful Cairo Lodge in the creation of the Lodge Pahlavi in Iran on November 24th, 1951, later named Lodge Humayun, I guess. And where's that lodge at? Where's that lodge at? That lodge is actually in LA. The intention of the current officers of the Grand Lodge of Iran in Exile, based in Santa Monica, Los Angeles County, who are also members of the Order of Humayun. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I'm trying. Working in close contact with the current White House administration, is to give a prominent role after the unconditional surrender asked today on Truth Social by President Donald John Trump. Reza Pahlavi, right? Born in 1960. That's the year I was born. How about that? The eldest son of Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, the last Shah of Iran of the roughly 53-year-old Pahlavi dynasty, and his third wife, Farah Diba, right? So there's his daughter, there's his wife, all very, very lovely. And here we have another Iranian, right? You guys might have seen the Valuetainment. I love this guy's work. So he's Iranian, and let's listen to what he has got to say.
Tucker Carlson comes out and says a few words on, I think it was the Steve Bannon, and he had a couple different tweets, Rob. I don't know if you have the tweets. I don't know if you have the videos, whichever ones you want to prepare. I'm just going to go right into the story here of what happened with Trump and Tucker. Is this the clip of Steve Bannon? So here's the issue with Israel, Iran. There's a camp that says attack, let's take out Iran. Scott Jennings from CNN comes out and says that, argues U.S. should bomb key Iranian nuclear sites. And a lot of people are on the same page with him, but there's a complete different side. Jennings, one of the most effective defenders of President Trump on cable news, wrote from Jerusalem, Israel on Sunday that U.S. should bomb Iran nuclear facilities at Fordo. My thoughts from Jerusalem: Israel is on the brink of remaking the Middle East and ending the biggest sponsor of radical Islam terrorism in the world. Trump's strategic part in this move was brilliant.
See, that's what I've been saying for years. All right. So it's not like everybody doesn't know it, guys. Maybe all of you don't know it, but I'm telling you, Iran is a sponsor of terrorism. I've seen it all over the world. Middle East world.
Trump has stated correctly that there can be no peace if Iran obtains a nuclear weapon. This is a tenet of America's first foreign policy. The Iranian terror regime has never been weaker. Thank you, Israel. That's what he says. The chance to end them as a destabilizing force cannot be dismissed. In my opinion, Trump would be justified in taking out Fordo nuclear enrichment facility. It would be a righteous decision, and if he does it, no question in my mind that he would deserve the Nobel Prize. This is a once-in-a-generation chance to make the world safer and defend Western civilization. Bomb Fordo, destroy the Iranian octopus, restore deterrence, win the Nobel, America first hashtag. That's Scott Jennings. And then here is Tucker Carlson on Steve Bannon talking about the same issue, very different opinion. Go for it, Rob.
He's a deeply humane, kind person. And I am saying this because I'm really afraid that my country is going to be further weakened by this. I think we're going to see the end of American empire. Obviously, other nations would like to see that, and this is a perfect way to scuttle the USS America.
I like the way Steve Bannon's looking at him. He's looking at him like, you little bitch. And I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe Steve Bannon is commiserating with him. I don't know.
Of Iran. But it's also going to end, I believe, Trump's presidency and effectively end it. And so that's why I'm saying.
What do you mean by that? That's coming from you.
Look, I knew Bush. I knew George W. Bush. We had, family connections with Bush. I knew Bush personally. I still see Bush sometimes. And, of course, he hates me, and he does because I criticized him on Iraq. And that war is the sum total, from a historical perspective, of his administration. But I knew him, and he had all kinds of plans for the things that he wanted to do. But one domestically
Right.
to improve the country.
Right.
And you may agree or disagree, but like in his mind, he wasn't just about the invasion of Iraq in March of
Oh, no. He was going to redo Social Security and all
100%.
all types of things. He was going to take care of the entitlements issue.
And he really thought it was going to work.
Yep.
And you could laugh at that or whatever, but the point is, the second you get enmeshed in a real war, not a fake, let's go bomb the villagers and declare success. Though we don't even have a good track record. Like, why is he still there?
Why are the Houthis still there? I can tell you, because the Iranians are there. I spent a lot of time in Yemen. And who was there? The Iranians. The Iranians were moving in and taking over. They were like pushing our influence out. And, you know, this is something that's been going on for a while. Some people that have been involved directly understand what the issues are. And then there's some people that are, you know, from the outside, you know, looking in, not having had, you know, feet on the ground in these areas for extended periods of time. And you get to know the people. The people are amazing. And then you get to see the less than 1%ers that control everything. How do they get in power? How did Biden get in power? Huh? So there's he cheated. His team cheated. All right. The deep state cheated, and they got in power. So we all know that. And we know that this happens all over the world. Now, imagine a world where there are accurate elections. The world will be completely different, right? You wouldn't have these people that are controlling all these narratives, because they can control these narratives through their proxies and the entertainment and the, you know, mainstream media, and not just here in America, guys. This is all over the world. I've traveled all over the world, and I see the manipulation all over the world, in the entertainment and in the political realm and in the media. So now, what would take that away? You would have free and fair elections, and when I say free, I mean that you free from influence. So a lot of these politicians are influenced. They're given money. They're told what to vote on. They're told what to say. They're told what to do. They're completely manipulated. So as long as we have that, we're going to continue to have this. So yeah, that would be something, right? If we actually did have fair elections. So I think that's something we're going to see in Trump, during Trump's. I think we'll have during the midterms. I think we're going to have free elections, right? Free and fair elections. It's going to happen. All right, so let's take a little bit of trip back in time. So we're possibly seeing the return of the monarchy. But what was before that? There was, I guess you could say, Democrat. I don't think the Democrat. I think a republic is the best form of government. A Democrat is the worst form of government. But they say here, the last Democrat election. So this is Mohammad Mossadegh. So Mohammad Mossadegh was one of my lifetimes. Right? I've had many lifetimes in as Persian. Right? So, and boy, do I hate the oil companies. Right? So that's what took him out. So the oil company, MI6 and CIA, basically overthrew him. And the CIA and I think nope, not Arnold. So the CIA, let's pull up this other one. All right, so we'll change this out. and put this other one up. All right, so the CIA admits that they didn't at the time, of course. Iranian deposed by MI6 and CIA. Yes, the 1953 Iranian coup d'etat, which overthrew the democratically elected Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh, was orchestrated and supported by the CIA and British intelligence. This event is also known as the 28 Mordad coup d'etat. This was the first time the CIA did a coup d'etat, setting a precedent. The 1953 coup was the CIA's first covert operation that resulted in regime change that has been replicated in other countries since then. Many countries. And of course, the CIA killed President Kennedy, so they're a rogue organization. They're deep state. Operation Ajax. CIA-led operation to overthrow Mossadegh. Motives. The coup aimed to strengthen the Shah's authority and protect British oil interests, which were threatened by Mossadegh's nationalization of the Iranian oil industry. He was loved by the people. But they figured out how to take him down. So execution. The operation involved a variety of tactics, including propaganda campaigns, bribery of officials, and mobilizing pro-Shah forces to carry out the overthrow. It's the same thing they did in Ukraine. CIA did the same thing with their little puppet boy, John McCain. No name McCain, right? Outcome. Mossadegh was arrested, tried for treason. And so this is a democratically elected, loved by the people, prime minister. And then they overthrew him. And they put their puppet, the Shah, in. So I know a lot of you are like, well, if they put a puppet Shah in there, what are we going to do? Are we going to do the same thing again? I don't think so. Not under Trump. He's a white hatter, and you're not going to have CIA dark hat, black hat involvement, guys. This is changing the badness of history. We're changing the badness of history because this is what we want. We don't want that old timeline. We want the new timelines. Now, as a remote viewer, I don't see anything past 2030 at this point. Just like for a long time, I couldn't see past 2012. And remote viewing into the future was very important for me when I went in combat zones. So it to keep me and my teams alive. So until we got to the last few months before 2012, and human consciousness decided they didn't want a bad outcome because everybody's talking about it. Then we flipped that timeline into a positive one. And several months before that, I was on talk shows and everything. They were like, because everybody's like talking about it. That was the first question you get. What do you see with the, coming up with the, 2012? And I was like, I see beyond it now. It's like everybody's like, oh, that's so good. So that's what I see with Iran. We're going to see something positive out of this. The Shah returned to power and ruled for another 26 years until the Iranian Revolution, 1979. So they took out a very positive, very good guy, coup d'etat, just like they did in Ukraine, CIA, and one of their people that does these things, that would be John McCain. Now, when John McCain went bye-bye, not long after that, that's when we started to see his work that was going to take down Iraq, because I saw Iraq being taken down by ISIS, and I was like jumping up and down. We got to take out al-Baghdadi, because I was in Iraq. I was like, we got to take out al-Baghdadi. What's going on? What? Come on, guys. Who's got the balls? No one would speak up. And then, of course, Trump came in, and al-Baghdadi went bye-bye. Right. So that's what we're going to see with the Iranian regime. They're going to go bye-bye because they're bad. And they're backed by badness, right? They're baddies. they're in the bad, group of Masons. Bad Masons. Bad Masons. All right. So we got good Masons, we got bad Masons. We got good leaders like Trump, and we got bad ones like Biden. And so we learned the difference. We learned the difference, and when we learn throughout time, many of us have tapped into being here many times, and we know how this works, and we try and inform everybody. So this stops here, right? And Trump is part of that. Trump has been many lifetimes too. Me and Trump Daddy go back a lot, right? We have worked together in lives, and we've been against each other in lives, but this time we're working together, so it's good. Iran regime, very bad, evil demons. Yes, Janet, absolutely. So yeah, is Rising Lion anything like Crouching Tiger? So yeah, so Crouching Tiger. I'm glad you brought that up. Let me, Paul. I'm going to highlight you because that's a good one. So no, we're not going to see a confrontation with China either, because that Crouching Tiger thing or the dragon, however you want to look at it, Crouching Tiger, dragon, China is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Brandy, you're still talking about Biltmore Mansion. So we've come a long way since then. But yeah, it's still relevant, I guess. It's still relevant. Andrew or Cooper. What? Andrew Cooper? Is it Andrew Cooper, right? So he's a bad boy. He's a CIA puppet boy. Trained for that from birth, of course, just like a lot of these deep staters. And Anderson Cooper. So thank you, Arnold Lake. So Anderson Cooper and Kathy Griffin, his brother, his twin brother. I don't know. Some people said that. It kind of looks like it. I don't know. I mean, if so, I guess Kathy got implants. I don't know. Or maybe she was born with everything, like Jamie Lee Curtis. So I don't know. There's Trump the Disruptor. I like it. Yeah. So Patton. Yes, Patton. Patton. Oh, Patton jeans. Steve. Yep. Trump. Patton jeans. Very, very Patton. Trump and Patton. Something going on there. Maybe Patton did have some genes there in Trump. I don't know. But she needs more adrenochrome. Absolutely. And if she doesn't get more adrenochrome, she looks more witchy like. Witchy woman. Yep. So can Deep State produce a battle of the bulge moment? Well, they tried with Ukraine, but we call that out right away. And Ukraine, just like the Germans, the Nazis, basically got spanked. And who is their Patton? I don't know. The Russians have who was their Patton? Where did President Trump go to that no one else had gone to before? North Korea. Mm-hmm. So the North Koreans actually came over and helped Russia kick some Nazi ass, right? And drove it out of Russia, and now Russia like took it up, and they're like pushing back hard. So there's a lot of moving parts here. There's a lot of people that are involved, but yes, we will see Iranian regime change. Mark my words. And some say Kathy Griffin is Anderson Cooper's dead brother that supposedly committed suicide. Ah, yeah, that's right, Brandy. So there is that too. So there's all kinds of strangeness in there, isn't there? Especially with these strange families. Yes. All right, guys. That's all I got for now. Regime change. Trust the Trumpster. There's lots of moving parts here. Don't listen to whiners and deadbeats and so forth. Wakey. That's right. So good comments. The older brother. That's right, Sandra. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. You know that don't go fear. Don't be angry. Don't be afraid like Tucker, and stay in the love vibration. Because if you're not there, then you don't see things. You can't be the observer, and you don't get information downloads. It doesn't come. All right. You stay stupid. All right. Don't be stupid. Stay in the love vibration. Lots of love, and I'll see you guys next time.